At the moment, there are many liberals who are speaking out in defense of MS13 gang members, and honestly, this really needs to stop. I know you're worried about due process, I know you're worried about the rule of law, but you do not seem to understand the depths of depravity of this gang and gangs like it. And so I'm just going to take you through some of the terrible things that they do and the way that they act. Getting these people off of the streets first should be the top priority. If someone has been mishandled in this process, then they can be compensated. If we do not take these people off the streets and they continue their reign of terror over the areas in which they operate, those people that they kill can't be brought back to life. It is simply that easy. This is the decision that needs to be made, and this is why simply arresting anyone with an MS13 tattoo is actually the good and noble thing to do, and we can settle the difference afterwards. It is not, as this blue sky user says, the face of fascism. This is the face of protecting human rights. All of these men, you can see from this picture, you can see like these giant tattoos they've got on them. All of these men are tattooed to show other people that they are a member of this gang, and I'll show you why that's important in a minute. You get people like Project Liberal on Twitter being like, well, that's it, we're back in 1938, with people, the new Jews being loaded onto cars and just sent to extermination camps. And it's like, yeah, okay, except it doesn't look like that, does it? This is all young-ish adult men, not families being taken away to be exterminated. These are people who are being locked up because otherwise they will literally murder people. It's not in any way, shape or form like 1938. And of course, these people, when they're being deported from the United States, are illegal aliens. They shouldn't be in the United States anyway, which is why people are mocking you, saying, actually, it's not exactly like the Holocaust, you know? It's actually substantively and materially different to the Holocaust. It's actually the opposite of a Holocaust. It's protecting people from dangerous lunatics who want to go on rape and murder sprees. Honestly, MS13 and various other gangs like Trendir Ragwa and various others, I'm just going to summarize them all by calling them all MS13, just as a sort of blanket term for weirdly psychotic, rapey murder gangs, right? Like, the sort of, I don't know, like, it's hard to describe them because there's not really like a sort of English-speaking facsimile for this. Like, these are like Aztec death cults or something. There's something that we just simply don't have any proper experience of in the English-speaking world. And, I mean, they're kind of mad. And they are completely proud of what they do. Again, how can you know that he's MS13? Well, he literally will have it tattooed all over himself. This is literally a signifier to the people that they terrorize and other gangs that this person is a member of this gang, and therefore you should be expected to be treated by them in a certain way, and you should treat them in a certain way. And when you lock all of these psychos up, if you just take the ones who have got MS13 tattooed on them and put them in a jail, it turns out you can turn the most dangerous country in the world into the safest country in the world. As safe as Canada when they're all locked up. So actually, having the murder, death, rape cult allowed to run rampant in your country, or just locking those people up, it has substantive material benefits. It actually affects things. What you are doing when you lock up the murder, death, rape cult is protect human rights. And liberals need to become aware of this. Because at the moment, there's currently a slew of legal cases going through the Supreme Court and going through various circuits of courts in the United States as they're fighting over this, as the Trump administration has been for some time been like, okay, look, we want to get rid of the murder, death, rape cult, right? We're really interested in getting rid of the murder, death, rape cult. And the liberals have been screaming, well, that's fascism. It's like, no, that's not fascism. That is the opposite of fascism. That is what any sensible liberal democracy should do to protect its own citizens. Remember, these are not citizens. These are illegal aliens, and they are insane, literally terrorists. So when the Trump administration posts things like, well, no, we are definitely against MS-13, and we are going to keep on going on this as hard as we can. The liberals, if if there was ever a time to pick your battles, right, this is not the battle you want to pick. Because, I mean, like, it's not like the Trump administration, the previous Trump administration, weren't all over this as well. This is from 2018, where they put out a briefing on MS13, and they just explain, look, they are, again, they say, the murders show a level of brutality that is close to unmatched. It is not even medieval, right? It's worse than medieval. It's like the sort of thing the Assyrians did. It's the sort of thing the Aztecs did, building pillars of skulls, that kind of ethos behind them. In Maryland here, MS13 were accused of stabbing a man more than 100 times, then decapitating him, then dismembering him, then ripping his heart out of his body. What is driving the level of gratuitous violence that you are currently defending, liberals? You tell me. What? Because I know that you think these people are somehow victims of society. Well, how is it that they got so bad? How do you explain this? If they are not simply actually consciously committed to evil, because they seem to genuinely be consciously committed to evil. They seem to think that being evil is good. And, okay, fine, they can have any opinion they want, but we ought to take appropriate action for that. And that means, frankly, I think that being a member of MS13 should be a death sentence. If you join MS13 and you get a tattoo saying, yeah, I'm MS13, that should be a license for us to hang you, because you have definitely killed someone in your time. We'll get to it in a minute. Right. So anyway, the point is, you can just find all of these charges. MS13 members charged with killing and hacking up a teenager saw the murder as a way to boost their standing in the gang. 4 young men were brutally murdered by MS13 animals on Long Island. One young victim was a young man visiting town during Easter week vacation. Just random innocent people being butchered, chopped up, dismembered, having their hearts torn out and their heads cut off. Like, why are you in defense of this? This needs to stop. And so you can go back further, because you say, well, that was done by the Trump administration. I don't trust them. Okay, well, here's a profile on MS13 from 2009, before Trump had ever run for office. And they say, yep, this is an insane gang that was formed by Salvadorian immigrants that came to the United States to escape civil war. And some of its members were trained in guerrilla warfare and the use of military weapons. They don't mention that it was originally a Satanist gang as well. The gang is well organized and heavily involved in lucrative illegal enterprises, being notorious for its use of violence to achieve its objectives. Fear and intimidation are used in extorting payments from any legitimate or illegitimate business owners for the right to conduct their business in MS13 territory. The MS13 members have been involved in rapes and witness intimidation. In addition to local crimes, they are known to participate in numerous transnational crimes. For example, they are involved in the illegal trafficking of stolen vehicles, weapon smuggling, firearm sales, obviously a major distributor of drugs. They have theft crews, they do human trafficking. They are the worst people that you can imagine. And you can get profiles from, say, 2017 from the BBC. Do you think the BBC are not a liberal organisation? Are the BBC in any way interested in defending these psychotic people? And so, a reputation for extreme violence is understating it, with brutal initiations. And we'll talk about one of these brutal initiations in a minute. But the point being is you have to often carry out a crime, often a murder, to join the gang. And so anyone who's like, well, what if they got press ganged into the gang? No, that doesn't happen, actually. The opposite happens, which I'll cover in a second. You have to really want to join this gang. And I'm sure that there are benefits to joining this gang. You get to go around predating on innocent people with the protection of the legend of the gang to go, and not just the legend, but the hit squads of the gang. And I'm sure you make a huge amount of money, you get loads of drugs and loads of women. So I'm sure there are definite benefits to joining the gang, but that means literally just reaping the rewards of evil. And frankly, I don't know if we should actually be allowing that to be an option for people, especially as the gang's motto is kill, rape, and control. Sorry, liberals, sorry. Is it fascism to lock these guys up, is it? This is literally their motto, according to FBI gang specialists who have infiltrated the group. Like, what are we doing here? Why are you... Oh, but we can't just lock them up. That's fascism. No, I think we actually might have a moral obligation to lock them up because they seem to be absolutely psychotic. Like, comically psychotic, actually. Like, the Joker and his gang look really soft by comparison, don't they? Like, you can't make up a comic book villain that is as evil as these people. And like I said, getting into their gang is a highly exclusive affair, right? So there have been people who have infiltrated in, and man, that must have been a terrifying thing to do. So you get various tiers, various levels in the gang that you move through. So you go through initiation rituals. In these meetings, Chekos, or mid-level MS13 affiliates, were jumped in to become full-fledged gang members or homeboys. To become a homeboy, Chekos must commit at least one murder of a rival gang member. So that to become a proper member of MS13, you have to be a murderer. To get the MS13 tattoos, you have to be a murderer. Is this sinking in? Having the tattoo is a confession that you were a murderer. And that is just going to be one of a slew of different crimes that each one of these men has committed. These are not innocent children, and they project that outwards. This is how other people identify them. Their tattoos mean, I am a murderer. This is what they're saying. And of course, the initiation is pretty rough. Once Chekos voted in by members of the clique, leaders would slowly count to 13 while gang members beat the prospective member. Afterwards, members would say, welcome to the Mara, and hold up the devil horn hand side. Mara is Spanish word for gang. And so you can see how this is pretty rough, and anyone who does something wrong within the gang by their own standards can be obviously beaten viciously or just put to death, right? So, who knows how these people, how the actual internal social workings of it are, but it doesn't seem like it's very good, right? It doesn't seem like it's great. And if you pretend to be a part of MS13, not even pretend, if you just kind of meme that you're a part of MS13, if they find out, gang members will literally murder you for pretending to be a part of the gang, right? This is an example from October 2024, where a young woman who is a part of the gang, MS13 member Little Devil, lured 4 men to a Long Island park, and then they were hacked to death by a gang because they'd posted photos on social media showing them wearing items and flashing hand signs that wrongly suggested they were members of MS13. Now, the Liberal might say, yeah, well, these guys might have been caught up in the raids, capturing all the people who they thought they were gangs. Well, I mean, what were you doing? Like, sorry, did you get an MS13 tattoo without actually being a part of MS13? Were you flashing MS13 gang signs without actually being a member of MS13? That was pretty fucking stupid, wasn't it? I mean, frankly, if you just get picked up by the authorities and wrongly imprisoned, that's probably the best possible outcome, isn't it? Because it could go a lot worse for you. Right? Let's just go through this. So, this Lenis Escobar was sentenced by a judge for however long because she and her co-conspirators had got these 4 victims to go to this particular thing, then texted gang members of their arrival. Multiple MS-13 members then attacked the victims with machetes, knives, and an axe and wooden clubs. One who managed to survive by running away testified that the gang members emerged through a hole in the fence with their faces covered and circled the victims. They told us to get down on their knees, don't move, whoever moves dies, and then they just started hacking them. So, I mean, just saying, right? And just to be clear, right? Ruiz testified that his friends had only posted online about MS-13 to impress girls. They were just high school kids. So they don't care. These are literally, again, they're just literally a satanic rape, murder, kill, control gang. They are not people who are wrongly accused. Right? They know what they're doing. They're doing it deliberately, and they're doing it for riches and power, and I suppose they'd call it glory. Right? Liberals who are like, well, oh my God, this is what fashion. No. This is what protecting human rights looks like. You are a lunatic to be on the other side of this. You look just really detached from what's actually happening, because tens of thousands of people in the Americas have been murdered by this gang. They need to be stopped. It is irresponsible. It is morally repugnant to try and stand between the people trying to stop this gang and this gang operating, right? It's morally repugnant. You are disgusting people who are just sat there totally detached from reality. And if any of the people who are swept up in these operations turn up not to be a member of MS-13, one, that don't make yourself look like you're in MS13. But 2, fine, they can be released and compensated. The victims can't be brought back to life. The rape victims can't be unraped. It is better, given the scale and the problem, the intensity of the problem that has to be dealt with, that some innocent people get arrested, temporarily detained, and then compensated, than people be murdered and we just shrug and say, well, we were just trying to follow the process. Right? You don't understand how evil these men are, how deep their commitment to evil goes, and you are sat in your safe, air-conditioned houses with your soft hands going, my high-minded liberal ideals. No, these people need to be stopped.